7 fruits diabetics must avoid at all costs. Hello, everyone. Have you ever felt frustrated with your blood sugar levels constantly going up and down uncontrollably? This not only affects our health, but also reduces our quality of life. Today, I'm going to share a highly regarded method by one of the leading experts in diabetes management, Dr. Richard Bernstein. He has successfully maintained stable blood sugar for over 70 years and has helped thousands of others do the same. Additionally, the next part of the video will introduce you to some fruits that are not only delicious, but also great for people with diabetes. Make sure to watch the whole video to discover the secrets to effectively stabilizing your blood sugar. Dr. Richard Bernstein's low-carb diet, effective blood sugar control with the 6 to 12-12 method. Hello, everyone. Imagine this scenario. You just had a bowl of noodles or a rice lunch, and your blood sugar spikes immediately. You take insulin, but an hour later, you're dealing with the risk of hypoglycemia. Does this sound familiar? It's a vicious cycle that many people with diabetes face every day. But is there a better way to control blood sugar without relying heavily on insulin? Dr. Richard Bernstein, a renowned diabetes specialist, has found a solution that has helped thousands break free from this cycle, using a low-carb approach with the 6 and 12-12 method. Let's explore this in detail. Have you heard about Dr. Bernstein's 6 to 12-12 rule? It's a way of limiting carb intake at each meal to keep blood sugar stable. 6 g of carbohydrates for breakfast, 12 g of carbohydrates for lunch, 12 g of carbohydrates for dinner. This means your total daily carb intake is just 30 g, which is far lower than the 150-200 grams of carbs typically consumed in traditional diets for people with diabetes. It may sound strict, but let's find out why it's so effective. Why low carb is beneficial for people with diabetes. Let's compare. A regular bowl of white rice contains about 45 grams of carbs. If you eat this, your blood sugar will rise quickly, and you'll need a significant amount of insulin to manage it. However, if you miscalculate the insulin dose even slightly, you risk dangerous hypoglycemia. On the other hand, eating 100 grams of leafy greens contains only about 2 to 3 grams of carbs, requiring very little insulin and resulting in more stable blood sugar levels. This is the core idea behind Dr. Bernstein's law of small numbers. Benefits of a low-carb diet. A low-carb diet not only helps in controlling blood sugar, but also offers many other benefits. Let's look at some specific data. More stable blood sugar. When you eat fewer carbs, the blood sugar spike after a meal is just 10-20 mg DDL, compared to spikes of 50 to 100 mg DL when consuming high-carb foods. This helps you avoid large blood sugar fluctuations. Reduced risk of hypoglycemia. With less insulin needed, the risk of hypoglycemia also decreases. A study showed that people following a low-carb diet had a 50% lower incidence of hypoglycemia compared to those on a traditional diet. Improved HbA1c levels. A low-carb diet can help reduce HbA1c average blood sugar level over 3 months from 8.0% to 6.0%, lowering the risk of diabetes complications. Let's go over some foods recommended by Dr. Bernstein and those you should avoid. Recommended foods. Low-carb leafy greens, spinach, broccoli, and kale have very low carb content, about 2.5 g of carbs per 100 grams, and are high in fiber, helping to maintain stable blood sugar levels. Lean protein from meat and fish. A 100-gram serving of salmon contains 0 g of carbs, but provides 20 grams of protein, keeping you full without raising blood sugar. Nuts. Almonds and walnuts have about 2.4 g of carbs per 30-gram serving, offering healthy fats and fiber, which are good for heart health. Avocado. One medium avocado contains about 3-4 g of carbs, is rich in healthy fats, and does not spike blood sugar. It's a favorite of Dr. Bernstein for people with diabetes. Tips for adopting Dr. Bernstein's method. I understand that changing your diet can be challenging, but if you want to try this approach, keep the following tips in mind. Monitor your blood sugar regularly. Check your blood sugar before and after each meal. This will help you understand how your body reacts to different foods and adjust your diet accordingly. Start gradually. Don't cut carbs drastically, especially if you're used to eating a lot of them. Try reducing your carb intake by 10 to 20 grams per day to allow your body to adjust. Consult your doctor. Before making any dietary changes, discuss them with your healthcare provider, especially if you are on medication or insulin. They can help adjust your dosages appropriately as you lower your carb intake. Dr. Bernstein's low-carb approach with the 6 to 12-12 rule has shown remarkable results in blood sugar control for both type 1 and type 2 diabetes. Although it may take time to adjust, if you stick with it, the results are well worth it. You'll notice more stable blood sugar, reduced cravings, and an overall improvement in quality of life. The low-carb diet is crucial for blood sugar control, but you also need to pay attention to fruit. Not all fruits are good for diabetics. Some fruits have a high glycemic index, GI, causing a rapid increase in blood sugar levels. For example, a banana has a GI of around 60-70 and contains 25 g of carbs per fruit, while a mango has a GI of 55-60 and contains up to 50 grams of carbs per fruit. These fruits should be avoided to maintain stable blood sugar levels. Let's explore more about the fruits that are not suitable for diabetics. 1. Bananas. Bananas are a popular fruit, but for people with diabetes, they are not an ideal choice. A medium-sized banana contains about 25 grams of carbohydrates and has a glycemic index, GI, of 60-70, depending on ripeness. This means that when you eat a banana, your blood sugar will spike quickly and may easily exceed safe levels, especially if you're not carefully managing your insulin. Why avoid it? Bananas have a relatively high GI, causing a rapid rise in blood sugar after eating. This can lead to an energy crash or cravings for more sweet foods. Therefore, it's better to limit banana consumption or opt for fruits with a lower GI. 2. Mangoes. Mangoes are another tropical fruit that you need to be cautious with, especially if you're trying to manage your blood sugar. A medium-sized mango can contain up to 50 grams of carbohydrates and has a glycemic index, GI, around 55-60. While mangoes are packed with vitamin C and fiber, their high carb content and moderate GI can cause a rapid increase in blood sugar. Why avoid it? With a relatively high GI, mangoes can cause a sudden blood sugar spike, especially if you eat a lot. While it contains many nutrients, if you're diabetic, it's better to choose fruits with a lower GI to maintain stable blood sugar levels. Consider swapping for fruits like strawberries or raspberries, which have a much lower GI. 3. Grapes. Grapes may seem like a healthy snack, but they are surprisingly high in sugar. A cup of grapes, about 150 g, contains around 20-70 calories of carbohydrates and has a glycemic index, GI, of 50 or 55. While they are packed with antioxidants like resveratrol, the high sugar content can quickly raise blood sugar levels, making it a risky choice for people with diabetes. Why avoid it? The small size of grapes makes it easy to consume a large amount without realizing it. Just a handful can add a significant amount of carbs to your meal, potentially spiking your blood sugar by 30-40 micrograms DL. It's better to swap grapes for lower GI fruits like blackberries or blueberries, which have less impact on blood sugar. 4. Pineapple. Pineapple is another tropical fruit that can be tricky for diabetics. A cup of diced pineapple, about 165, contains around 22 grams of carbohydrates and has a glycemic index, GI, of 59, making it a fruit that can cause a quick spike in blood sugar. Although it's rich in vitamin C and bromelain, an enzyme that aids digestion, the sugar content can be problematic for those trying to maintain stable blood glucose levels. Why avoid it? Pineapple's high sugar content and moderate GI make it a risky choice for diabetics, especially when consumed in large amounts. Eating a cup of pineapple can raise your blood sugar by 20-30 millibanks per DL, leading to fluctuations that are difficult to control. Opt for fruits with lower GI, such as kiwi or apples, which offer similar nutritional benefits with less impact on blood sugar. 5. Watermelon. Watermelon is often enjoyed for its refreshing taste, especially in hot weather. However, for diabetics, it's not the best choice. A cup of diced watermelon, about 150 kcal, contains roughly 12 gajars of carbohydrates and has a glycemic index, GI, of 72, which is quite high. While it's low in calories and rich in vitamins like vitamin A and C, the high GI can lead to a quick spike in blood sugar. Why avoid it? Watermelon has a high GI, meaning it can raise blood sugar levels rapidly, sometimes increasing by 30-50 microliters DL depending on how much you eat. It's better to opt for fruits with a lower GI like apples or pears, which offer a similar refreshing taste but have less impact on blood sugar. 6. Cherries. Cherries might look like a safe, small snack, but they can be surprisingly high in sugar. A cup of cherries, about 150 gr, contains approximately 18 gr of carbohydrates, and the glycemic index, GI, is around 63. While they are rich in antioxidants and have anti-inflammatory properties, their sugar content can lead to a rise in blood sugar, especially if consumed in large quantities. Why avoid it? Cherries have a moderate GI and can contribute significantly to your daily carb intake. Eating a cup of cherries may cause your blood sugar to spike by 20-30 millibarrs DL. Instead, choose lower GI options like plums or grapefruit, which provide similar health benefits without the high sugar impact. We've just covered some common fruits that can negatively impact blood sugar levels, especially for people with diabetes. Managing diabetes effectively isn't just about quantity, it's also about choosing foods with the right quality and glycemic index, GI. Don't let seemingly harmless choices like fruit derail your health goals. Focus on lower GI options that align with a low-carb diet, such as strawberries, raspberries, apples, or kiwi. If you found this information helpful, don't forget to hit like and subscribe so you won't miss out on more tips about healthy living and blood sugar control. See you in the next video, and wishing you all great health and confidence on your journey to managing diabetes.